Hi everybody, I am Dr. Karali Gumro, Professor, Department of Commerce, Abdul Latif University, Kharpur. I am discussing with you in this lecture about the introduction of the economics. The economic subject is defined by various people, and one of the famous definition given by the Adam Smith in his book written in 1776, The Nature and Causes of Wealth of Nations. In that book, he has defined that economics is the study of wealth, how wealth is created, how it is distributed, and how it is consumed. By wealth, the purpose of the term wealth, according to his definition, was the goods. And the economics which we are discussing nowadays is the study or the subject which is helping the individuals, the businesses, the societies, that how best to allocate their scarce resources to satisfy their needs and unlimited wants. We are discussing these subjects, the economics, because we are learning all the different subjects because we are facing the issue of the scarcity. We are not living in a world where whatever we want, whatever we think will be available in front of us, just like the food, the medicine, the transport, or each and everything. We have to choose among the different alternatives because of the limitedness of the resources. So the term which is most important or which is most necessary to understand the economics is the scarcity. The term scarcity means the limitedness of the resources. Scarcity means the things are not available in the quantity to satisfy everybody's needs and wants. So the scarcity denotes the scarcity of the production inputs, just like the land, labor, capital, and the entrepreneur ability. Before discussing about the resources, first we need to discuss about the needs and the wants, that what are the needs and what are the wants. Needs are the basic requirements of the human body or humans for their survival. We can also say that these are basic requirements for the survival of the living things, just like the air, water, sunshine, shelter, food. You do not need to worry about the sunshine or air which is easily available in our surroundings. We are not talking about the fresh air or polluted air. We are simply talking about the air available to breathe. Needs are very few, you can count, but even today, societies, they are unable to meet all the needs and wants of the people because of the limitedness of the resources. Another term is the wants. Humans have the unlimited wants, the things which we want or desire to have to satisfy our wants, just like the mobile, car, air conditioner. Even you can convert your needs into the wants. Air is the need. If we are talking about the fresh air, it means you are talking about the want. Water is the basic need. If you are talking about the mineral water, it means you are talking about the wants. Food is the basic human requirement. But if you are talking about the better food item, the burgers, the sandwiches, or the hi-fi hotels food items, you are talking about the wants. So human wants are unlimited, and the resources which are available to produce the goods and services for the satisfaction of the needs and wants are limited. Now we are discussing about the resources which are needed to produce the goods or services. Basically, there are four resources which we use to produce other things. We also call the resources the elements of production, the inputs or factors of production, and these are the land, labor, capital, and the entrepreneurial ability or entrepreneurship. First one is the land. Land is also called the natural resource because it is the creation of the nature, created by nature. Everything on the surface of the land which is created by nature, which is not cultivated by the humans but it is naturally grown up, just like the water, the air, and many other things, and everything which is beneath the surface of the earth, just like the minerals, the coal, oil, gases, and many other things. So, land is a limited resource. If I am claiming that land is a limited resource, you can also check yourself that whether the land is limited or not. Every day you are reading the disputes of the people on the land, on their plots, because people are fighting. If someone is using one part of the land, another person cannot use it for his or her purpose. If you are cultivating one crop on the 1 acre of land, you cannot cultivate another crop at the same time on that land. If you are building a playground on any plot, you cannot have the building over there. So land is the limited resource, although it's available in the huge quantity, but not available in enough quantity, in a fertile quality to produce each and every person's food requirement or other requirement, or to provide housing to each and every person. Another resource is the capital. Capital means these are the man-made or human-made things or tools which are used to produce the other things. Just like someone say that the building which we use for the schooling purpose, for the hospital purpose, for the production of the items, it is a building of the factory. Or we can also say that truck, tractor, computer used in the business, each and everything used to produce other thing which is man-made is called the capital. Historically, the initial capital is treated as that the weapons developed by the people who were living in the caves or the prehistory times, the stone from these stones. Or we can say that weapons developed from these stones by the people in the prehistory time to kill the animals for their feeding purpose was the first or the initial capital. It's very important. If the countries, some countries, just like the Pakistan, have the enough land, but we lack the capital resources to irrigate or to cultivate the crops or to build buildings on the available land for each and every person. Another resource is we can also divide the capital into the two parts, just like the physical capital means machines, tools, and another is the human capital. We can also call, although humans, they are not like the physical capital, but it is the capital which is learned through the training and education. When someone is getting the education, someone is getting the training, that become the human capital. Another input or the resource of production or the factor of production is the labor, which is most important. And labor means is the human power or the effort or the time we spend for the production of the goods and services. Although we have more than Pakistan have more than 7 crore labor force, but we lack the trained or educated labor force to produce each and everything. And many countries they lack the labor resource. And there is another very important input, which is combining the land, labor, and capital to get the output, and that one is the entrepreneurship or entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is the person who combine all the factors of production, the land, labor, and capital to get the output, and it is the person who is taking the risk, and that risk is to start the new business or to start a business or initiate a business. And the person is taking risk because the person is not sure that whether his or her business will earn profit or suffer loss. So these resources, they are available in the limited quantities. Because of their limitedness or the scarcity, societies are unable to produce the enough quantity of the goods and services to satisfy everybody's needs and wants. So the subject economics helps us to explain, it helps us that to make the proper decisions. So economics is the subject which guide us to make the choices. The choices which we have to make because of the scarcity of the resources. So in the next class we will discuss about the microeconomics, macroeconomics, and positive and the normative economics. Thank you all.